What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here. ELO week, side three. Going to wrap it up with somewhat obvious side three topic, I think, but I think it'll be an interesting one anyway. We're going to talk about our favorite string arrangements in pop and rock songs. People have been using strings in pop music going way back to the early days of rock and roll. In fact, there was a long period, as we found out in the going through the 50s and the early 60s, where it's almost hard to differentiate where rock and roll begins and, that pre-rock era big band stuff. Kind of, it all sort of blends together for a few years there, with a lot of strings. And then as you go into the 60s, you got a lot of like Baroque pop bands like the Left Bank, and then the Beatles, of course, using a lot of strings. And ELO kind of carried that torch and took it a step further. And throughout today, you still hear a lot of strings in pop music, so no shortage here to choose from. What do you guys got?
Well, I have a ton that I can list. Like, I really adore when strings come into songs. So I pretty much put these down in my notes without researching or looking at anything. I'm just going for the ones that really stick to the front of my mind as all timers, like whatever I can think of, because there's got to be so many. I think I know Joe will have a few of these, so we'll see. Well, if we duplicate, we can add some more at the end. Here's one I'm sure he doesn't have. It is a solo violin. I think it's a violin. I'm not sure. I did try to research this. Could be a violin, a cello, a fiddle. I'm bad with this. It could be a triangle, for God's sakes, just mixed differently. Who knows? But I've got Summer Dress by Red House Painters of Ocean Beach. It is a really beautiful song, and the violin is really dark, deep, and thick. And without this violin or string or whatever it is, this song would be nothing really. It is a song that I love, and you can pretty much give 90 to 92% of the credit to this string part. And it's a very morose, depressing song at first, and it kind of gets lighter and more hopeful at the end, and the string goes up with it. It's really cool. It's terrific. I've also got a really beautifully dark part for the song Dumb by Nirvana. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. It makes the song much more serious and kind of ominous and foreshadowing for like something bad to come, maybe. It's really cool. I think it's awesome. I've also got Radiohead with Burn the Witch. I love the frantic plucking at the beginning, and then the really super orchestral thing in the chorus when it does a really sharp like dun 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 dun. It's really cinematic, makes the song epic and huge, and you really feel like you're like flying over like a Salem village as a witch. It's super cool. Then one, just saw Smashing Pumpkins live a month or two ago. Tonight, they did it acoustic and it was great. But man, the way it kicks in and does everything in the choruses and comes in and out in that song, it's just so extravagant and huge, and it's like a big rally cry. Great song, great strings. And then I was going to go with a certain Alice in Chains songs, but I know Joe's got that on there, so I'll let him have it. I'll go with Leave On by Elton John. Absolutely sensational. It's got those great Elton strings, which are just so rich and buttery, and it just makes everything so wholesome and loving, and like you just get such tender feelings when you hear the strings in that song. I mean, the piano is great at first, but when the strings come in, it's just evoking so much emotion. Terrific just accents on an already great composition. So those are the five that I got right now.
Well, you're right, Cramser. I do have I Stay Away by Alice in Chains on mine. Favorite Alice in Chains song. It's the way it combines sort of like that dark Alice in Chains sound, that big, massive symphony. Very cool. I did have Tonight on mine, but you had it on yours. So we'll just, you take that one. I take I See. I'll go with a really obvious one, Something by the Beatles. Favorite Beatles song. I think it really works well with just the Beatlesiness of it. That's kind of where ELO got their sound from. And mixing the orchestration with the big bass parts and cool guitar works really well. I'm going to go with Silverchair, who kind of stole from Nirvana's Dumb on a lot of their stuff, but I'll go with Tune in the Brine from Diorama. That was done with Van Dyke Parks, who worked with Brian Wilson. He's a master arranger. And just kind of a really cool shift for them from Neon Ballroom. They kind of explored it a little bit, but they really went for it on Diorama. I think Tune in the Brine has some really cool parts. I'll go with one of the first ever users of orchestra in a pop song, Walk Away Renee from Left Bank. Kind of too obvious, but the lead singer's dad, I believe, was conductor. And sort of just because of that, they decided to use some orchestration in their pop song. Walk Away Renee, I think, uses that best. And I'll do a couple like really obvious ones. November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Obviously, Axl loved Elton John and sort of those big sweeping piano ballads. I think that one uses that and sort of their darker, meaner, bluesier. You got that great Slash solo that kind of comes in. So I think it's an effective use of both rock and orchestra. And another really obvious example, Kashmir from Led Zeppelin, one of the first like big rock songs to implement those kind of stabbing violins and violas and whatever else, cellos that they use on that to really get that big kind of mystical Middle Eastern meets, hard rock kind of sound.
All right, so I'm going to kick off with a song called The Ocean by Richard Hawley, his record Cole's Corner, which I love. I think it's awesome. But the strings are just really beautiful on that track. They bring a lot to the song. And then I'm going to go with, to Cramser's dismay, Silly Love Songs by Paul McCartney. It's an okay song, but I think the strings are amazing. The horns are amazing. The bass line's amazing. I think you could take the words away. It's just a great piece of music. The strings are really incredible. Then I'm going to go with I'm Not Sleeping by Counting Crows. It has a really cool kind of building tension. It kind of goes up like chromatically and just gets higher and higher. It almost does that kind of day in the life sort of trick where the orchestra just builds and builds. After that, I'm going to go with Sea Salt by John Vanderslice from his White Wilderness record, a record that he made with the Magic Orchestra, small chamber orchestra that was the in-house musicians at his tiny telephone studio. Really cool song and some great arrangement on it. Then I'm going to go with Stroke It Noel by Big Star. Really cool track. Love the strings on it. Cool song. And then lastly, I guess I will go with 1000 Umbrellas by XTC. Excellent arranging by Todd Rundgren. So there you go. Those are my 5.
You said Rundgren. You usually just use the Royal Todd.
Well, I guess when I refer to him as an arranger, it feels appropriate to use the last name.
Well done. Yeah, I wanted to keep my list kind of rock and pop heavy because when you get, like you were saying at the beginning of the video, when you get into the 50s and 60s, the great string parts are like a dime a dozen. I mean, At Last by Etta James and This Magic Moment by Benny King and the Drifters are probably 2 of my favorites, but that opens the door to just hundreds of them from that era. So, I'm glad no one did Ballad of Billy the Kid from Billy Joel.
I gotta say, Cramser, you picked Dumb, right? Nirvana. pretty much every song from 93 till the present is based on Dumb. Like there's so many of those alt rock like Shimmer and Glycerine and Anna's song Open Fire by Silverchair. Everything is based off of Dumb. So I got to give a lot of credit to Nirvana for sort of bringing that back in like a weird kind of new way. Because like literally as soon as they did that, like that just exploded across the alt rock scene.
Cram also mentioned Levon, but I think a particular shout has to go to Paul Buckmaster because all of his string arrangements on the early Elton records are amazing.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we should one day do a video about the best like fifth instrument outside of guitar, bass, drums, and keys. Like, what is the best? That would be a hell of a video.
The answer is piano. Good video.
Keys, dude. It's a key.
Oh, you
Everyone
said
knows-
key? Oh, Christ. I don't know then.
Everyone knows my answer.
What, the producer? The knee spoons? What?
Pedal steel.
Oh, no, that's still under the guitar category. Still guitar category.
Mountain dulcimer.
I think that's if pedal steel's in the guitar category, so is dulcimer.
No, totally different instrument. Brah.
All right. Well, that's the another video for another day. Do you guys got any more you want to throw out? No. I've got several more. She's a Rainbow, Life on Mars, The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies, Night Swimming, arranged by John Paul Jones, Without Her by Harry Nilsson, of course, Strawberry Fields Forever, Perfect Day by Lou Reed, Good Vibrations, in Louisiana, 1927 by Randy Newman.
Most of Pet Sounds. Drops of Jupiter by Train.
No, shut up. End the video. End transmission. Ugh.
Yeah, that's it. Time to go.
We're going, it's late. We're going to bed soon. Now I got drops of Jupiter in my ear. Take me to the atmosphere.
All right, let us know what your favorite songs, pop and rock songs are with string arrangements in them. Drop them down in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Find Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website down in the description. And that is all. Come on back for 1979 tomorrow, and we'll see you then.